What if the most overpowered hero in the universe got an even bigger power-up? We all know Saitama, the hero for fun who can end any fight with just one punch. But imagine if beneath that bald head and unassuming yellow suit flowed the blood of a Saiyan warrior. How would that change his journey, his power, and the entire universe of One Punch Man? Let's dive into this epic what-if scenario. So, how would Saitama even get Saiyan DNA? Let's picture a slightly different origin. Perhaps a Saiyan scout pod, similar to Goku's crash-landed on Earth decades ago. The infant inside, instead of being found by a kind old man, grew up in the shadows, eventually having a child of his own. Saitama. Or maybe in a more cosmic twist, a freak accident during a battle with a spacefaring monster infused Saitama with stray Saiyan cells. Either way, the core of our story is that Saitama now possesses the latent potential of this legendary warrior race. Let's revisit Saitama's infamous training regimen: 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10 kilometers run every single day. For a normal human, this broke his limiter, granting him his godlike strength. But for a human Saiyan hybrid, this grueling routine wouldn't just break his limiter. It would ignite his Saiyan instincts. Every workout would be like a mini Zenkai boost. Remember how Saiyans get stronger after every near-death battle? Saitama's daily grind, pushing his body to its absolute brink, would constantly trigger smaller versions of this effect. His power wouldn't just grow, it would skyrocket exponentially, far beyond what we saw in the original story. The hair loss might even happen faster. Now, how does this affect his famous fights? The battle against Krablante that started it all. Saitama would still be an ordinary guy at this point, but the raw desperation and the will to save the big-chinned kid would awaken his dormant Saiyan power for the first time. The fight would be a struggle, pushing him to his limits, but he'd win. That first taste of a true life-or-death battle would set the stage for an explosive growth in power. Fast forward to his time as a registered hero. Genos would still be in awe of his master, but he might notice some strange things. Maybe during their sparring match after Saitama casually dodges his incinerator cannon, a faint flickering golden aura flashes around him for a split second. Genos, with his advanced scanners, would be completely baffled. The energy readings would be off the charts, unlike anything he's ever seen. He'd spend countless hours trying to analyze this phenomenon, concluding that his master's power isn't just physical strength, but some kind of latent energy source. The Deep Sea King encounter would be even more one-sided. Saitama would arrive, and instead of just one punch, maybe he'd get a little annoyed by the rain and the villain's monologue. He'd power up slightly, the ground shaking, the clouds parting as a golden aura flares to life. The punch that follows wouldn't just defeat the Sea King. It would vaporize him and evaporate the rain in a 10-mile radius, leaving everyone speechless and terrified. The public reaction would be different. Instead of questioning his strength, they'd be filled with awe and fear. He wouldn't just be a cheater. He'd be a walking natural disaster. And what about the ultimate battle against Lord Barrows? This is where things get truly insane. Barrows, who could sense Saitama's immense energy in the original timeline, would be absolutely ecstatic. He'd feel a power that rivals or even surpasses his own. When Saitama gets kicked to the moon, the lack of air and the cold of space would be another near-death experience. As he leaps back to Earth, he wouldn't just be annoyed. He would be thrilled. For the first time, he feels a genuine challenge. As Burroughs unleashes his meteoric burst, Saitama's Saiyan blood would scream for a real fight. That lazy, bored expression would vanish, replaced by a sharp, focused grin. He'd meet Burroughs blow for blow. The consecutive normal punches would become a blinding storm of Kai-infused strikes. And when Burroughs fires his collapsing star roaring cannon, the ultimate planet-destroying attack, Saitama wouldn't just counter with a serious punch. He would roar, his aura exploding into a full-fledged Super Saiyan transformation. A golden-haired Saitama, a being of pure power, would unleash a serious Kamehameha-style punch that not only negates Burroughs' attack, but sends a shockwave through the cosmos. Burroughs would die with a smile, having found the battle he'd searched for his entire life. But what about Saitama's existential crisis? The boredom, the search for a worthy opponent. With Saiyan blood, this changes dramatically. His boredom isn't just about being too strong. It's about the instinctual Saiyan desire for a good fight. This could lead him down two paths. On one hand, he might become even more withdrawn, realizing that even with this incredible power, no one on Earth can challenge him. His loneliness would be even more profound. On the other, more exciting path, it could motivate him. He might realize his power isn't just a random fluke, but a part of his heritage. He might actively start looking for stronger opponents, not just waiting for them to show up. Maybe he'd take more interest in Blast and the secrets of the universe, hoping to find someone, somewhere, who can push him to his true limits. He wouldn't just be the hero for fun. He'd be the warrior in search of the ultimate battle. The introduction of Garou, the hero hunter, would also be a fascinating dynamic. Garou, who wants to become the ultimate monster, would sense the Saiyan battle lust within Saitama. Their inevitable clash wouldn't just be a fight. It would be a symphony of evolving power. As Garou transforms and gets stronger, Saitama would be forced to tap deeper into his Saiyan abilities, maybe even unlocking Super Saiyan 2 in the heat of their battle. It would be the fight of the century, a clash of two individuals pushing the very definition of limits. Ultimately, a Saiyan Saitama is a terrifying thought. His power, already limitless, would now have an infinite potential for growth. The Hero Association would have no way to classify him. He'd be beyond an S-class hero, a category of his own. He would be a guardian deity of Earth, a silent protector whose true power no one could ever fully comprehend. The story of One Punch Man would transform from a parody of superhero tropes into an epic saga about a god trying to find his place in a world he could shatter with a sneeze. The One Punch gag might fade, but in its place would be a story of unimaginable power and the lonely burden that comes with it. What do you guys think? Would a Saiyan Saitama be a more interesting character, or does it take away from the original joke? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this what-if scenario, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into your favorite anime universes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.